Welcome to Mark Bayeski YouTube channel. Before I forget, Gabrielle, Rosanna, and Gabrielle, Rosanna. Sorry, I forgot. Anyway, I had 3 messages from 3 beautiful souls today. I've had quite a lot of messages as of late from beautiful girls who are teenagers and are trying to understand life in a way that they can conquer emotion. And that is something that you're not taught at school. Never. You're bullied at school, you're mocked, you're ridiculed, you're judged. And it's hard to understand how people can be so hurtful when you think they're friends. And the worst time is when it's somebody that you really believe is your friend and they would do something to hurt you so much. And we, as these human beings in this spacesuit, we feel things, and then we try to think what's going on. We're using our brain to understand why somebody's attacking us so much. The question was, how do I get over? How do I feel better? How do I stop this pain and suffering that I feel daily from people who attack me, whether they're personal friends or people who don't know me at all? So I've been doing this work for a long time now, and I've been a healer for many people, many thousands of people, and the teenagers that used to come to me. One of the things that I used to share, and sometimes I had classes of kids who used to come, and I used to sit and you just talk to them in general and do healing sessions, and they felt better. They always felt better afterwards. But to really crack open that nut that we all have, that stubbornness of wanting to feel this pain and suffering, because that's what it's about. We're trying to figure out why somebody wants to hurt us so much. So if you can crack them open and clear that energy away, then they'll feel better. So a healing session is great for that, but it doesn't solve everything, because the root cause of all things is, in my humble opinion, now that I understand healing, is how we're brought up as children to be able to understand life and understand people's reactions and how people and why they behave they do, how and why they behave. So my understanding of helping people works on 2 levels. One is about understanding the person, and one about understanding you. And if you can conquer those 2 factors, and we're going to try that today, we're going to try to start to conquer that. It takes time, but if you keep working on it, it builds and builds and gets stronger and stronger, and it's an energy, and it grows inside you, and the energy grows to be on a cellular level, so you become stronger, not thicker skinned, not harder, but stronger to your wisdom and knowledge of people and yourself. You can't understand life if you don't understand yourself. You can't understand people if you don't understand yourself. And we all judge, we all knee jerk, we all get upset. So we got to start by understanding ourselves. Now, I told you a story once about my shoulders. I don't know if you remember, but I was in a club once, and there was a really pretty girl, and I thought she was really nice. I really liked her, and I was younger then. I don't know how old I was, early teens. Anyway, I dancing away, and I used to smile at her all the time. And eventually, I got the courage to say hello and talk to her. And I said to her, "Would you like to go out one night to the pictures with me?" Because it used to be the pictures where you took somebody out. And she says, "Oh, I couldn't do that." And I said, "Oh, have you got a boyfriend?" She said, "No." She said, "It's your shoulders." I went, "What about my shoulders?" She says, "They slope too much." Did they? I spent 2 weeks after that trying to get my shoulders up. She meant it. as you go on in life, you realize that some people look at you because of who you are and because of their memory of somebody or something. So imagine if somebody came up to you and slapped you across the face and had a nose like this. If you ever see somebody with a nose like that, you might think, oh, I don't want to go anywhere near him, because it reminds you of the slap, right? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that we want people to like us, but some people don't like us. They just genuinely don't like us because of a reaction of how they feel of what's happened to them. Now, that's not just on the nose and shoulders levels, that's on the levels of emotions. So if you smile a lot and they get upset because they may not have that ability to smile because they've been abused. So they see that as a threat. So when you start to understand life and realize that going for an interview because you're an actress and not getting the part doesn't mean that you're not a good actress. It just means that the guy who's looking at you is thinking, no, you're not the right person because you've got the wrong colour hair. Not because of your ability, just because you don't fit into the role. And when you look at your life even more and start to observe life in a greater, bigger picture, you realise that nobody's really offending you. Nobody's really not wanting you. It's just your part in this world hasn't arrived yet. And when it's meant to arrive, it will do. Just like friendships, just like partnerships. All things come at the right moment. But when we want something and force something, sometimes, just sometimes, we realise that that wasn't meant to be. So in my understanding, when I meet beautiful teenagers who simply flow in life and don't push or force or want or expect anything, find life becomes easier. This is what you're never taught at school. So going back to the idea of my shoulders, okay? I had two choices with this, okay? One choice is I could look in the mirror and look at my nose, think to myself, I want to be a Kardashian and I want to change my nose. I want to be as fake as Milli Vanilli. Okay, you probably don't know who that is, but you just want to be something that you're not to please other people, because every time you want to look different, it's because you're not happy with yourself. But what you're really saying is that other people are not happy with you. So you think that people don't like you because of your shoulders and your nose, Mark, when in actual fact, it's got nothing to do with it. And eventually, when you overcome that, you meet somebody, like I did, who said, I really like your shoulders. And I went, really? Do you? Because I was told that they were awful. Who told you that? Just this girl. They're beautiful. And my nose is kind of like a bit of a witch's nose, right? Your nose is really manly. And I really like your features. You like my features? I hate my features. Why do you hate your features? Because everybody else used to laugh at my features. So I have to hate my features because everybody else laughed at them, so they mustn't be nice. I love your features. That's why I want to be with you. So now all of a sudden, you realize that all that time and effort you spent on these people by believing their story, you actually wasted your energy when actually your shoulders are perfect. Your nose is perfect. And I'll tell you something else, girls. If you're a teenager and you're plastering your face with makeup, let me tell you something that no boy will tell you. We prefer that you don't wear a clown's face. I know, Marcel Marceau, I know it's your fault. But it's the truth. Girls look beautiful when they are natural on their face. And boys like that far more than false eyelashes that you can pull off and stick there and make them look like a moustache. So you see, girls, being truthful to yourself and looking at yourself is the start of you becoming the most powerful soul who never gets affected by other people's judgments and opinions. So What you can do is this. You can look in the mirror twice a day, not long, just look in the mirror and say, I am perfect, just the way I am. Can't do that. Why not? Because I'm not perfect. Why? Who told you? Well, Jessica did, and so did John, and they are. Oh, so you're listening to the wrong people, are you? No, yeah, you are. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who look at you and think you're beautiful. And you are beautiful because you were made that way. You can look after yourself all you want. You can eat healthy, you can train, you can go to the gym, you can take care of yourself, you can be with people who are loving, who love you for exactly who you are, so you can love them for exactly who they are. That is something that you can work on. But ultimately, when you realize that your nose is perfect and your lips are perfect, and if you changed your nose, then your lips wouldn't look perfect and you'd look false and you wouldn't look real anymore. But you've got to understand that your features are exactly as they're meant to be. Your emotions are beautiful. Your gifts, your kindness, your love, your personality, everything about you is exactly perfect. And you can grow on that. And the way you grow on that is by believing in your personality. I'm not good enough. Yes, you are. Who's told you you're not good enough? Everybody. Well, that's their issue. And they're not saying you're not good enough. What they're saying is that they're not happy with you because you don't fit into their life like they want you to. And you don't want to fit into people's lives, especially those people. The people who you should fit into their lives are the ones who love you just the way you are. So if you're with people who are trying to change you, then there's your problem instantly. So in time, and I mean this, as you get older, you start to realize that I am perfect. Not in an egoistic way, but I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. And ask yourself this question when you look in the mirror. Am I a bad person? I would guess you're not at all a bad person. Do you hate people and wish them unwell? No, you probably don't. Do you wish people happiness and joy? You probably do. Are you a kind person? I would say you are. Do you want to share and make a difference in this world? Yes, you do. So the point I'm trying to make is that everything that I've said is correct. Why would you even waste your energy listening to somebody who's telling you you're not? You know something? They call me the healer of hearts. That was given to me by many people that I helped in hospital and all over the world for free. I just went there and just give my heart and help and heal them, right? And that's what some people started to call me. And other people started calling me evil and dangerous and satanic and a messer of evil, working with evil, right? I look in the mirror and say, do you mess with evil? No. Are you satanic? No. Are you kind? Have you ever hurt your children? Have you ever lifted your finger up to your children? Do you care for your partners when you're with them? Do you love them? Yes. So you're not satanic and you're not evil. You're kind and loving. That's why I don't listen to these people, because it's a reflection of what they're saying. So now I know this, it doesn't hurt like it used to, because I spent so long trying to understand why people were so hurtful. But actually, I realized that was a waste of time, because you can't please people who are nasty, because they want to be nasty, and they're nasty to everybody, not just you. So why waste your time trying to please people? You're not a people pleaser. Again, the world is filled with billions of people. Choose the right ones and stay away from the wrong ones and let them fight each other and fight other people. So don't try to win friendships when they're not meant to be your friendships. Don't push and force friendships when they're not meant to be in your life. But as you get older, you get stronger every day and you say, I am a good person. And you realize that confidence comes when you actually look in the mirror and say, I am a good person. I genuinely want to help and make a difference in this world, and I treat people with respect. And I'm not a pushover, because a lot of people think that if you're spiritual and you're a healer, you're weak. We're not weak. We're just kind and caring. But don't get me wrong. I can get very angry, and I am very defensive when I see a man hit a woman, or a man hit a child, or an animal. You'll see a different side to me, because I'm not a pushover. And we have to learn not to be a pushover. But that's a different moment. When somebody says something horrible to you, you look at yourself and say, well, what did I do to that person? Did I get a hammer and smack them over the head with it? No. Did I do something behind their back maliciously? No. Then I did nothing wrong. And actually everything they're saying is a reflection of their weaknesses, which is truth. And you don't want to be around people like that. You simply want to be around people who are kind, because you're kind. Once you've got that in your energy, once you've got that in your mind, once you're creating that in your thoughts, these people will disappear. They won't be anywhere near. They won't come back again. But the more you invest your time in trying to understand why people are awful to you, and for you to try and invest your time to try and please them to change, then you are fighting against your soul, your spirit, your consciousness that is saying to you and your brain, don't do that. Don't go near them. Stay away from them. This is your test. This is your challenge. Your challenge is to feel that, know that you are beautiful, and know that that person is not for you. And the test is to walk away and don't be near people like that, because for the rest of your life, if you try and please these kind of people, I'm afraid you'll end up in an abusive relationship, whether it's a partnership or a love energy, or whether it's friendships. Don't. Be stronger, be wiser, and choose your friends and partners wisely. That's definitely one part that can help you. So remember, look in the mirror and love yourself. The second part to this conversation is probably the most beautiful part, because when you realize that if you haven't hit somebody over the head with a hammer, and you haven't gone out of your way to try and be abusive and nasty and bitchy to this person, but this person just hates you for no reason, you suddenly realize as you get older that you hold a mirror to people, just like people hold a mirror to you. And there is something about karma that we've heard many times. How people treat you is their karma, and how you react back is your karma. What that means is, if they're horrible to you, they're horrible. That's their karma. They're in a horrible place. They're in a bad place. They feel bad. Something's happened to them in their life that they're screaming and shouting, and they can't get out, and they don't know how to heal from it. So then they attack, because they need to get this energy out. So they attack anything that's beautiful and kind and loving and soft that they see as weak, because inside they become bullies and angry. Okay? Interesting, right? But if you react back and you're nasty too, then you have to look at your karma, because there's something wrong with you. You haven't healed something in you. Thus we go back to what I've just said. It's because you don't love yourself, and you don't trust yourself, and you don't know yourself. Know thyself is the most powerful sentence you could use. Put it on your arm, tattoo it somewhere. No, don't tattoo it, but I mean it. Know thyself. That is a powerful thing that 99% of this world have no clue. They don't know themselves. And this is what we have to work on daily. And the more we work on knowing ourselves, knowing that we're kind, caring, loving, we have gifts, we have so much to give, then that disappears. It doesn't affect us anymore. Once you become strong and none of that affects you at all, then I believe the spirit world says, oh, you know what, Rosanna's fine. She's not biting anymore. She's not swinging a baseball bat after every time somebody says something nasty. Let's leave her alone and move on to somebody else. It's true. Once that has gone, it doesn't come back again. So it's important. So we learn to love ourselves, and then we learn to understand that nothing that is said to us is personal. I could tell you 1,000 stories to confirm this as the real truth, and the pattern is so great and so obvious that I share with you now. Anybody who says something behind your back or to your face, anybody who slanders and says something nasty to you are doing it because they're upset and angry with themselves, that their life is all a mess, that they are angry and bitter and weak, and they cannot find the energy or the understanding or the spirituality to heal themselves. So they attack others to feel better, which just gives them a moment of joy in the sense that they're not looking at themselves in the mirror. Okay? And that's the way it is. Fear is normally the reason why people attack. Really is. Fear of themselves, fear of not being able to be good enough, fear of not having the energy and the power that you have. Thus, they get angry with you. There's so many forms that I can share with you in so many ways. So, the moral of the story is that when you really love yourself and know that you're a good person, and know that when somebody attacks you, and you know you're a good person and you haven't done anything wrong, then you don't waste a single moment on what they've said to ask yourself what's wrong with you. You just hold a mirror and say, that's a mirror. Everything that somebody says on social media is a reflection of how they're feeling. Everybody who says something to you is a reflection of how they're feeling. So if I say to you, you are beautiful, you're amazing, you look gorgeous, you're wonderful, you're an amazing person, then you can look at them and say, I know how you're feeling today. I know who you are today. You're amazing today. And I'll go, why? Say, because of what you're saying. But if I say to you, you're horrible and you're this and you're that, then you have to use that same principle. Again, I know how you're feeling. I know you're not in a good place. And simply send love and healing to that person. After 2 decades of working as a healer, did you know one of my greatest practices of all? I'll tell you my secret. You would think that I would send my greatest love and healing to those who I love, when in actual fact, the first people I send healing to are the ones who are in the most awful place, who hate me, or they think they hate me, or they're angry with me because I've said something they didn't like, or they're just in a bad place. I send them my healing first of all, because they're the people who need it the most. So anytime somebody says something horrible, send them love. Be the lighthouse. Be the strength. Be the lion, because that's what you are. You will never be taught this at school, but this is your lesson today. How to overcome emotional suffering from other people's knee-jerk and weaknesses and reactions towards you. It's really that simple. Let today be the first day of the rest of your life. In fact, you haven't even started living. Now that you know what you know, life is going to be a joy. Have a beautiful day, souls. Take care.